New Hong Kong Base Camp, Kailestes, New Eden.
"Stuart, slow down. I will be out in a minute."
Kammie Gunther hesitated at the door leading out of the center west dining room. She'd promised her mother she would watch her 9-year-old stepbrother this afternoon, but that meant leaving the safe confines of the building because the boy seemed incapable of staying inside. Stuart's father, Bai, kept reminding her that his son was used to being outdoors when he lived on his grandmother's farm, even sleeping on a porch at night to stay cool in the oppressive heat and humidity of the Philippines. Kammie couldn't even imagine what the boy's life had been like on Earth. No schooling because the educational systems everywhere had shut down, his mother dying slowly of one of the new wasting diseases, and his father working long hours in a high-tech research facility while he was left in the care of an old peasant woman. She took a deep breath and stepped out the door, clutching her shoulder pack, which held her mobile, disinfectant wipes, protein bars, canteen purifier, and rain slicker, as if it were a security tether to civilization. She knew she was being silly. New Hong Kong Base Camp wasn't the wilderness. Instead, 3 months after the military scouts set foot on the planet of New Eden, it was already a bustling town of 3,000 people, with more people being shuttled down from the ship, the SS Nightingale, every day. There were streets, residences, community centers, and factories. Soon there would be a fully operating hospital. The Yus, the founding family who'd been given Kailestes to settle, were certainly efficient in everything they did. But Kammie had always lived in space before. Her first 5 years in the small research station out by Jupiter, in the wormhole, then 9 years living on Nautilus II, the huge space station above Earth, where the Asteria-class ships for the journey were built, and finally 2 years on the SS Nightingale, traveling to New Eden, their new home in the Andromeda galaxy. Living in space provided her with simple choices. Inside walls, she was safe, and outside walls, death awaited her. On New Eden, safety was harder for her to determine. When she was having a meal in the Center West cafeteria, or helping her mother out in the medical offices on the second floor, or going to sleep in their small residential unit, she could almost imagine she was back on the SS Nightingale, eating in the mess hall, working in the medical sector, or sleeping in crew quarters. The base camp buildings even looked and smelled much like the SS Nightingale, probably because the buildings had been constructed from standardized parts extruded by the Paradisi Project mission's gigantic 3D printers that had helped build the ship itself. But outside the buildings was different. One minute the blue sky showered her with warm sunlight, and the next minute the same sky dumped liters of water on her, and the ground under her feet would morph into a sticky mess that soiled her clothes and followed her indoors. Her stepfather, Bai, laughed at her and said that neither the rain nor mud would kill her. Yet the orientation material constantly warned everyone to be careful not to ingest the soil, as if anyone would do that, or drink unpurified rainwater. Stuart simply ignored these warnings and continued playing in the dirt and splashing through the puddles, forcing Kammie to trail after him. Sighing, she walked quickly to catch up with him as he disappeared around the corner. At least taking care of Stuart, she didn't have to confront the fact that while she felt safer inside the community building, she didn't feel safer with all the people inside that building, most of them strangers who'd spent the 2-year journey from Earth in cryosleep. She didn't know which was worse, coping with the outdoors or coping with the effects of her shyness indoors. It had been this way forever for her, never feeling safe, never feeling completely at home.